was so uninspiring, we don't even have an intro.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we did a lot of setup. We did a little bit of setup for No Mercy.
We did like a minuscule amount of setup for No Mercy.
We did a lot of setup for the next week.
Yeah, no, we came out of like a huge pay-per-view, and I don't know if it was just...
I hope SmackDown's not the same way.
If Raw was just as bad, or if the crowd... I want to almost give the crowd the benefit of the doubt that, like, most of them were probably at NXT and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You know, because they do them, like, WrestleMania-esque travel packages,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to say that from the amount of energy that most of them expended at NXT TakeOver, and the fact that the cumulative time of pre-show and SummerSlam was 6 hours long, despite the fact that most of the guys didn't even get until an hour into the pre-show.
Yeah.
That I just want to say that the crowd was worn out.
Kind of like the way we were when we went to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'll give them that, but I mean...
But then again, Raw didn't give them much to work with.
Yeah. I mean, the beginning was fun.
Can I just, like, go over highlights? And then we can talk about shitty parts later.
Sure.
Or we get the like crappy stuff out of the way first.
Okay. Elias Sampson defeated R-Truth with the Drift Away. That was a thing.
This match had an interesting thing because I'm pretty sure Elias got like clocked in the nose by an early punch from R-Truth and then kicked in the forehead.
Yeah.
And so I think the match actually got cut short, and Sampson was pissed.
Speaking of things that got cut short, we had a Brooklyn street fight between Enzo and Cass, where Cass unfortunately he took a tumble out of the ring.
Here, I'm going to preface this real quick though, because I almost said something out loud at the start of this street fight when he threw Enzo back in the ring for the first time, like after he smashed him with the shopping cart, and he got in the ring, and I was going to say that Cass has never looked more like Kevin Nash at this given moment.
Ooh, you thought it, and he hurt his knee.
I thought it, and then he fell out of the ring.
Oh,
and his knee broke.
Yeah. He'll be getting an MRI. It'll probably be done by the time this video goes up, so we'll have more details. But yeah, the match was stopped. So I mean,
kudos that he tried to keep going.
Yeah,
though. I mean,
and it works for the storyline because this is where it was supposed to end. So Enzo got a win, but it was in shitty circumstances. So
yeah, I mean, guarantee you when Cass is better, he's gonna come back and squash Enzo one more time.
Yeah,
because
just
Enzo won, but boy, was it the biggest of technicalities he won by.
That's fair. Nia Jax squashed Emma after Emma talked some trash because she is still pissed that Sasha's getting all of the spotlight, and she feels like she should be the Raw Women's Champion, and then she talked a bunch of shit about Nia Jax while Nia Jax was standing behind her, and Dana Brooke neglected to tell her, and yeah, that match lasted all of 2 minutes.
Yeah. I think Emma got more offense than she did last time she tried to fight Nia, though.
Yeah, probably. Jason Jordan decided he wanted to go against Finn Balor.
That was a mistake, because he lost.
He looked good through most of it. Of
He
course,
put on a good show.
The crowd didn't give a shit. They were too busy worrying about a fucking beach ball.
Yeah.
And of course, Finn Balor defeated Jason Jordan with the coup de grace. We had 2 little segments that announced rematches, where we found out that tomorrow on 205 Live, we'll have a rematch for the Cruiserweight title between Neville and Tozawa.
Yeah.
And we also had a talking segment between Sasha and Alexa Bliss, and Alexa is getting her title rematch next week on Raw.
I'm excited for that one.
So Alexa can take the title back?
I'm just saying their match was so good at SummerSlam, despite the fact that I wasn't thrilled with the ending.
Yeah, true.
The match itself was so good that I'm like, okay, hopefully a match of that caliber, despite the fact I know it probably won't get as much time, hopefully it will breathe some life back into Raw.
We shall see.
If nothing else, booty shorts.
Lots of those. We had an 8-man tag team match, which featured almost the entirety of the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, that's when you realize that their division only consists of about 13 people.
Yeah. Where we had Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik, Mustafa Ali, and Rich Swann defeat Noam Dar, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari after we had Grand Metalik take a bunch of guys out with a moonsault on the outside, which left Cedric Alexander and Tony Nese in the ring, and Nese fell victim to the lumbar check.
Check his lumbar, so good.
Checked real good.
And Michael Cole, it's a fucking 8-pack, not a 12-pack. Get it right.
He was thinking about beer.
Of course he would.
Do we just want to talk about the main event? And the little thing that led up to it? The thing that led up to it was kind of fun.
Yeah, no, that's one of the highlights.
Okay.
The main event itself wasn't.
Yeah, the main event was boring. Match of the night, though, the Shield came out and talked about their tag team title win and how they're excited to be back taking over the tag team division, and that they were willing to take on all comers, and they ended up having a match against the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome match. It was cool to see the Hardy Boys mixing it up with the Shield.
Hardy's pre-match promo had them dropping a lot of goofy accent words.
Broken bombs. That's what I'm calling them.
Woken bombs.
Hashtag broken bombs.
So we're kind of sitting here in this limbo wondering if it ever is actually going to happen or if WWE will refuse to pull that trigger.
I don't know. TNA's still putting up a fight, so we'll see.
Which is weird because they can't really even afford to pay their wrestlers all the time.
It's true.
So how are they paying a legal team to fight this?
Well, don't know. I can't come up with a good enough excuse for TNA. I don't plan to.
Fuck that out.
Yes. So yeah, that leaves us with the other two big segments.
Bork is still champion.
Braun doesn't give a fuck.
No, Braun will throw Lesnar to the ground as many times as it takes to win.
And Braun wants the belt.
Yeah, and Heyman looked like he pissed himself on the outside.
And now, the main event of No Mercy will be Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title.
Boy.
I can't believe that Brock Lesnar is going to defend the title on back-to-back pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's shocking. I'm not completely surprised by it. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened earlier because when Brock signed his latest contract, it had somewhere around almost twice as many dates.
He's been showing up on a lot of Raws, that's what it is.
As his last contract.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. This was sort of like what we were supposed to get at SummerSlam in a way, I think. Or whatever the Raw pay-per-view before SummerSlam was. That
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. Yeah, something, because I know that Braun was supposed to fight Roman in the ambulance match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and it was supposed to get the title match at Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire or SummerSlam was supposed to be Braun versus Brock one-on-one. That all got scrapped because Braun got hurt, and they didn't have an accurate window of how long it would take him to recover. Ended up being a lot quicker than we anticipated.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job of keeping it relatively close to the timeline they had. They've probably had to cut out a few things and switch a few things around, but it hasn't. Despite the fact that Brock Lesnar hasn't been around, the Universal title picture has seemed very seamless.
Yeah.
It's transitioned fairly well, despite there not being a champion almost every week.
So yeah, Braun's gonna challenge, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm excited for the match.
We'll see.
I mean, I don't often get excited over a Brock Lesnar outing, especially a one-on-one Brock Lesnar outing.
Yeah.
Because those prove to be usually the most disappointing.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough to gauge just because We talked about the fact that, Brock isn't necessarily as versatile as he used to be, so he probably doesn't lead matches, and I don't see Braun Strowman being strong enough yet to lead a match, so it'll be interesting to see what they're able to put against each other.
Yeah, I have my theories about Lesnar. This is where we're going to tangent off a little bit because I know this review hasn't been very long so far, and we're almost done with the whole show.
Yeah, we've only got 2 more segments to talk about.
I feel like Brock's versatility isn't necessarily something that's missing, but it's something he knows he doesn't have to reach into at this point, because half the time he gets the pops that he wants from just doing the minimal amount of work.
That pisses me off.
That, and it also has to do with the way WWE books him, because WWE books him as an unbeatable guy who can just demolish his opponents however he wants. This is where I think it's going to change, because they're, at least based off of what happened at the Fatal 4-Way match at SummerSlam and tonight's opening segment of Raw, Brock can't have his way with Braun Strowman.
True.
So Brock is going to need to... He probably will change up his game the most we've seen since his return a couple years ago.
I hope so. And then, despite the match that came out of this segment not being all that fun, at least watching John Cena return to Raw for the first time in a year, and then be confronted by the man that he came to Raw to be face-to-face with, Roman Reigns, only to be interrupted by The Miz, who didn't give a shit about either of their moments, and wanted a moment of his own.
Dear God, Miz. This was almost on par with the Talking Smack promo.
Oh yeah, no.
That shook the world.
Yeah, the thing that made Talking Smack a show worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. When Miz gets on, Miz is fucking on.
Yeah, it's just he's one of those guys that's good at talking, and when you let him, much in the way CM Punk did in the Pipe Bomb promo, when you let him slowly start to peel away layers between what's real and what's story in wrestling, he just gets like... That's where he hits the hardest.
Oh yeah, no, he knows exactly all the right beats to hit, and he gets reactions.
Yeah.
That is, the Miz is really good at hitting those moments and getting people reacting and or talking about what he's saying.
And I think it works the best for the Miz, because I think a lot of the times when Miz is doing promos, I don't know how much, it's always hard to tell how much creative leeway wrestlers have in their promos.
Yeah.
Because WWE is such a scripted, say this, do this sort of program nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about moments like this, and I think about, like, the Miz is coming at this from a fan's perspective, because prior to being a wrestler, wrestling was still, like, the biggest thing in the Miz's life.
Yeah. Miz has always been a wrestling fan. That's what he was known for on The Real World. That's where the name The Miz came from.
Yeah.
And so it is ingrained in him to look at things from a fan's perspective, which I think is refreshing compared to the way a lot of other people, even if people have their creative leeway, Miz's promos still feel so much more passionate and real than a lot of others do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good on you, Miz. This led to Cena going, well, why don't you and one of your little buddies team up against me and my new tag team partner, Roman Reigns? And
you say?
Roman Reigns gave the shittiest look to John Cena ever. To which, before Miz could decide, well, actually, Miz wasn't even going to do that. He was like, no, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it on your terms. But apparently Miz was gonna do it on Samoa Joe's terms.
Because yeah, he came out to the ring and said, "Miz, I'm your partner," and the Miz was like,
Yes, Daddy.
"All right, I'm down with that."
There's also the little segment like in between where Miz is like, Joe, I know. I had to pull in Bo and Curtis Axel. I had to tell them you should join my entourage, but I didn't have to tell you. You're just like, yes, Miz, I want to join the entourage.
And Joe's like, "Shut up."
And Miz like, cool. And Joe literally like said, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. Shut the fuck up and listen. And walked away. And Miz is like, yes, sir. May I have another? And then the match happened. I don't think we watched like 60% of it.
It didn't keep my attention.
The only thing I saw was Roman accidentally punched John Cena in the face. That was almost a potential end for the match, but Roman ended up punching Joe in the face as he went for a tope, and then of course John Cena can't lose to The Miz, and so he hit him with an AA, and John Cena and Roman Reigns won the match.
Yay!
And that's how Raw ended.
Yeah, Raw ended with Cena staring at Roman, and Roman went, "My bad," and Cena, rather than acknowledging him, just took a couple steps forward and posed.
Yeah. Roman Reigns did not give the Shinsuke treatment. Because he doesn't deserve it. Yeah, so SmackDown. Let's have a show, please. 205 Live. Let's not have another title change, please. We can only hope. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links.
There's a lot of links.
Like the podcast.
That's one of the links.
And Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable with a W, like wrestling.
Where you check out punishment videos. More to come soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta eat 2 peppers and get an
Ice cold
equal
water.
number of buckets of ice water dumped on my head simultaneously.
At least it's still summer, so it shouldn't be too awful for the ice water.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, look forward to all of that stuff. Check out our NXT and our 2-part SummerSlam review, as well as our really short indie news, and of course, Tuesday Night Live and the midweek wrap-up coming up next. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck you, Titus O'Neil. Stay away from my people.
Fuck Brock Lesnar.
And not in a racist way. Just in a way of stay away from the people I like. You already got too many.